Hello everybody and welcome back to SFF180. It is Monday, March the 12th and time once again for the mailbag. Hope you guys have had a great week and a great weekend. Mine's been really nice. Not much in the way of announcements. It is a very light week this week, so we're going to get through these very quickly. But that's okay, because you know why? You guys have a new book review to watch, so that's a thing you can go and do right after this. And another one coming up really soon, so keep an eye on the channel this week. It's finally coming all together. Also, in way of announcements, I have fully booked myself for the Nebula Conference. It is happening May the 17th through the 20th in Pittsburgh, like last year. I wasn't sure if I was going to vlog it again this year because I did it last year, so I threw up a Twitter poll, and I would say that the results were fairly decisive. So I want to say thank you all for making your voices heard and your desires known. And I guess I have to apologize to that one guy. Too bad. Okay. All right, let's not waste any further time. Let's dig into the books and see what we have. And this first one is from HarperCollins. All right, this was kind of neat. I've been emailing back and forth with the publicist on this one because at first I wasn't quite sure, is this one really for me? And she was like, no, check it out. I think it really is for you. And I'm glad I have. This is called The Wild Inside. The author is Jamie Bradbury. And it's described as an unusual love story and a creepy horror novel. Think of the Bronte sisters meet Stephen King. Anyway, and it's to do with the Iditarod races as well, apparently. Let's have a look. All right, this is out March the 20th, very soon. It says it follows natural-born trapper and hunter Tracy Petrikoff as she spends her days tracking animals and running with her dogs in the remote Alaskan forests surrounding her family's home. I do like frozen environment, far northern settings for horror stories. Tracy's been anticipating running the Iditarod her whole life, following in the footsteps of her father, a seasoned musher and race champion. She is on the cusp of her 18th birthday and finally eligible to compete, but her father has forbidden her to train for the race. He and her brother can't cope with the recent unexpected death of Tracy's mother, so in secret she runs the dogs at night in the wilderness surrounding her family's home, training for the ultimate challenge. Well, that sounds like trouble. And though she feels safe in this untamed land, Tracy still follows her late mother's rules. Never lose sight of the house, never come home with dirty hands, and above all else, never make a person bleed. While she is foraging in the woods, a stranger attacks Tracy and knocks her unconscious, but she can't tell her father about the assault because she would risk having to tell him the truth about what she was really doing in the forest. Now, everything she thought about the tranquility and safety of her homestead is questioned. The next day, she glimpses an eerily familiar man emerge from the tree line, gravely injured from a vicious knife wound, a wound from a hunting knife akin to the one she carries in her pocket. Was this the man who attacked her? Did she almost kill him? Did she break her mother's most important rule? With her memories of the events jumbled after hitting her head, Tracy can't be sure. Then a mysterious wanderer appears. This is getting complex. Well, a mysterious wanderer appears looking for a job. Tracy senses that Jesse Goodwin is hiding something, but she can't warn her father without explaining about the attack or why she's kept it to herself. It soon becomes clear that something dangerous is going on. Yeah? The way Jesse has wormed his way into the family, the threatening face of the stranger in a crowd, the boot prints she finds at the forest's edge, Tracy doesn't know who she can trust, but the real danger is closer than she would ever have imagined. Okay. All right, well, sounds like it could be very tense. Yeah, March 20th for this one, The Wild Inside. And the author is Jamie Bradbury. So let me know in the comments. Yeah, it's like not even 300 pages, so it's a lot of plot for such a little book. Okay, next we have a random penguin package. Ooh-ah, look what I have. It's Grey's Sister by Mark Lawrence. This is the second book of The Ancestor and the sequel to Red Sister, which you lovely folks nominated for the BookTube SFF Awards. So I do finally have that on my reading TBR in my review queue, and guess what? I guess I get to slot this one in right after it. Gonna read them back to back, because why the hell not? But Grey's Sister, again, Ace hasn't got a sell sheet inside this thing, but it is an April release, so I am going to assume, you know, first weekend, first Tuesday in April, first or second Tuesday in April at the absolute latest. But if you read Red Sister and you loved it, don't spoil anything for anybody below, but this is Gray Sister, and I imagine the next one will be, you know, Fuchsia Sister or something like that. But in any event, the Badass Sister returns in April. And next up we have this one from Angry Robot Books. I believe this one is already out, maybe came out last week, beginning of March. This is a debut novelist, Tristan Palmgren, and the book is Quietus. And apparently this is a historical science fiction novel, which sounds pretty interesting. Goes like this. In medieval Italy, Nicoluccio, a young Carthusian monk, leads a devout life until the Black Death kills off all of his brothers, leaving him alone and filled with doubt. Habida, an anthropologist from an alien world, devastated by plague, is overwhelmed by the suffering. She's been observing the spread of the pestilence, hoping to learn something crucial that will save her own dying world. Unable to maintain her neutrality any longer, she saves Nicoluccio from the brink of death. Habida discovers that neither her home's plague nor her assignment on Nicoluccio's ravaged planet are as she has been led to believe. The pair are drawn into a worlds-spanning conspiracy to topple an empire larger than the human imagination can contain. That sounds pretty epic. So, Quietus from Tristan Palmgren at Angry Robot Books. Let me know in the comments. Haven't had a really good science fiction story about monks since Canticle for Leibowitz, I guess. But anyway, final package from Random Penguin. And the first one of these is Vanguard. It's by Jack Campbell. This is the first book in the Genesis Fleet, which is a spin-off series from, the latest spin-off series from his very popular Lost Fleet series. Military science fiction, not usually my thing, but I really like it when this guy does it. His real name is John G. Henry, and he's a very skilled fellow, and he does actually pretty complex and intellectually engaging novels for military SF. It's not just war porn, okay? But this is Vanguard, and so this is the paperback version of this. Got the hardcover, of course, last year. And we are, I guess, prepping for the next book in the series, which is Ascendant, and I think that comes out either April or May. But in any event, Vanguard by Jack Campbell in mass market. And finally this week, we've got one that I think a lot of folks will be very happy to see. This is A Veil of Spears. This is the third book in Bradley Belew's Shattered Sands series, following 12 Kings of Sharakai and With Blood Upon the Sand. This is now A Veil of Spears, continuing on from this. And I don't want to give away plot synopses or anything spoilery, but suffice it to say, this is a very admired fantasy series, and I like the whole desert setting of the thing. And this will be out, I believe, in the last week, final Tuesday of March, in hardcover from Daw Books. Here it is. And there we have it. That's all we've got for this week's mailbag, but despite being a small haul, I think it is still pretty nice one, I must say. So you know the drill. Hit those comments. Let me know which of these looks most interesting and exciting to you, which you would like to see me prioritize for review. Oh, I nearly forgot. This is the final week. It ends this Friday. This is the final week you can get your Hugo nominations in. So be sure to do that. Don't forget that SFF180 is Hugo eligible in the Fancast category. Be nice one of these years to see the Hugo start to recognize BookTube SFF. Why not? So, yeah. Otherwise, you can support the channel at my TeePublic store and at my Patreon, where recruits into Wink's Army get little perks like getting to see the videos early and things like that. I want to thank those folks for their additional support. I want to thank you all for being the best audience on BookTube, and until I see all of you next time, happy reading.